that Indiana Favor selects
Caitlin Clark, University of Iowa.
I'm Jambari Moreau. That's Randy. That's Tasha. This is She Shoots, She Scores, episode 1. We here in the building. Hopefully everything is well with you. We live. We're talking Caitlin Clark, Diana Taurasi, Angel Reese. You name it, we talking it. This episode 1. Let's get it.
So we're gonna jump right into it from NC. And you can tell DJ is really hyped. From NCAA standout to WNBA rookie, Caitlin Clark is stepping onto the professional course with high expectations. Today we dive into her first experiences in the big league. So DJ, we're gonna start with you. Can Caitlin Clark dominate in the WNBA like she did in college basketball?
She absolutely can. Now, when you say dominate, the question I ask everybody is, what are your expectations of Caitlin? What do you expect of her? Because I know what I expect. I expect her to top 10 in league assists, top 10 in league scoring, maybe top 15. And this is as a rookie. I expect her to be top 10 in three-pointers made. I expect her top 10 in free throw percentages in the league. Now, question, is that too much for me to expect from her? And I know your answer is no. So my question is she worth the hype? Absolutely. So with that being said, if she can do all of this as a rookie, what do you think she's going to be able to do as a vet? And let's just stop here. What is she going to do when she gains 10 pounds, 15 pounds, even 20 pounds of muscle? She's 150, 160 pounds. I'm getting ready to go see her on Friday. You know, I'll see her in person, but the physique, the build, she's obviously an athlete. Don't get this twisted. But what I'm saying is, as she grows and develops, especially with her game, and especially with the dogs that they got in Indiana, Aaliyah Boston, especially with a coach. I mean, the sky is the limit for Caitlin, I feel like, personally. Not only is she one of the most exciting rookies to enter the W since Diana Taurasi, she is arguably one of the most hyped prospects. I mean, I haven't been this excited for a prospect since Candace Parker, maybe, and she can't even. I'm talking about, this is Brianna Stewart. Reminds me of this type of hype. So I would absolutely say she can live up to the. I mean, you ask LSU, ask South Carolina, ask UConn, ask all these teams that she done beat with a bunch of kids from Iowa. If she can live up to the hype, ask them. Yeah, I'll let you go, Randy. You let you go. Tasha, you go.
Randy, what are your thoughts?
First of all, she didn't beat him with a bunch of kids from Iowa. Those people at Iowa could play. I'll say that. And honestly, I don't want to sound like a hater, but outside of her shooting the big threes, like, I don't see, like, yes, she has great assists, but I just hope her game develops, because at the end of the day, you have to make that transition. And
you gotta say that again. What's your say?
Hello.
Did you just say Caitlin? I'm sorry, we didn't hear you clearly. You gotta repeat that. You gotta say that a little bit louder. I didn't hear that clearly.
I'm saying outside of big threes and good passing, what else does she do well? Like, and she's not playing against college kids. She's playing against vetted players now, people that have been in the league for 2-3 years, a year, even if that. Like, I want to see her develop her game and take it to the next level. Because if all you could do is pass the ball and shoot threes, you're going to find a way to cover that. And the coaches in the W are well-rounded enough to where they'll put a scheme together where they can minimize her as a threat. I want to see her grow there.
So what do you want to see from her?
Develop her mid-range game, get better with layups, and just, like, she really has to develop that mid-range game. Because if someone's guarding her the entire court, like, how is she going to get that shot off unless it's a screen?
Yeah.
Like, I really want to see her just
sharpen
up the tools. Man.
Are you saying that she's not? Are you saying she's going to be a bust? Is that what you're saying?
Nah, I'm not saying that.
What are you saying?
I mean, I don't know. I'm saying I just want to see her get better. I want to see her make that jump.
She's
certain tools she was lacking. That's why she lost in the NCAA.
You think she lost because she didn't have a mid-range jumper?
Yeah.
You think she lost the NCAA tournament because she didn't have a mid-range jumper? I had to say that twice.
If she wasn't hitting deep threes, if she wasn't hitting deep threes or laying the ball up, what was she doing besides passing it up?
She shoots 39% on average from three. Why would she shoot mid-range if she's shooting from the three and they make more?
Okay, if she's shooting 39%, let's give her 40. She takes 12 threes. She's only scoring 12 points.
She shoots almost 20 a game and she makes 9. That's at 40%. That's a
Okay.
40% clip.
I don't know what game you're watching. What happens? That's on a good day, right?
I mean, how many bad days does she have? How many bad days she have?
Huh?
How many bad days does she have?
She had one when it came down to the NCAA championship.
Because I'm sorry.
So when it does, no, but that's a big game. That's a huge game. All the other games don't matter if you're
what
losing.
game are you talking about? The championship game?
Yes.
She lit him up in the first quarter, did she not?
Okay, and then what happened? What happened to her shot?
I mean, I hope you don't expect her to do that the entire game.
No, we're speaking, so I'm asking what happened. She got locked up.
I'm gonna let you.
She had someone
tell us what happened.
She had someone who could guard her, a tall guard who is more athletic and can steal the ball, and that she got exposed. Like, unfortunately, like up until the games I saw her play, she didn't take many big threes. She played a very calculated game, a very smart game, high IQ game. She took what was given to her, right? So if they're taking away the three and they're taking away the layup and they're closing down the passing lanes, what else option are you there to provide? You got to create for yourself, right? You have to work off the screens and you have to be a smart player. All I'm saying is I just want to see her develop in the areas where we saw her lacking in. That's all I'm saying.
So, but again, just to speak about those areas, I wonder, because I mean, there she is right here, and she's getting ready to. I would have never had the ability to even sniff out the opportunity to play in a national title. The fact that she was there and she got them to compete, I expect the Indiana Fever to look at this pull. You know that's money. You know it's money, man. You talking about twos? Why would she shoot a two? Why would she shoot?
This is a part of basketball. That's why when people take it away,
she don't play defense. I don't. That's not. Come on now. I'm sorry. What?
Bruh. She.
Okay, guys. I'm pretty sure with Caitlin Clark, with her coaches, with the teammates, and they're gonna develop her to reach her highest potential. She's too hot right now. She's the it girl right now. So we're gonna move on to. Fresh off the draft, Andrew Reese, another big name, steps into Chicago Sky with both potential and pressure. Will Andrew Reese transition to pro basketball, redefine the Chicago Sky? And Randy, we're going to start with you this
I believe, yes. With her attitude, not even the attitude, the passion when she plays the game. And with her high energy plays, her ability just to sniff the ball out and just make big plays when they do matter. I think there's good room for potential. And you're talking about the added-on players that they picked up in that draft. Like, I have high aspirations for Angela Reese, especially at the next level. There's someone who could really help us focus on what's more important at hand on the court and see how they develop from there. But yeah. Solid 1-2 punch.
Oh, I was gonna say, speaking of Angel, her teammate Camila Cardoso, you always also have to mention the fact that she's able to get rebounds. And yes, just to add, Angel Reese is a tenacious defender. She is a ferocious leader. She has the ability to change the culture. She rebounds well. She passes well. She can score. She can shoot in transition. I mean, again, she's just starting training camp here. Her teammates love her. Her coaches love her. She's very coachable, intelligent. I mean, you can go on and on. She's very, what's the word I'm describing as Russell Westbrook also is described as polarizing. She gains a lot of attention. You know, you're either against her or you're with her. I mean, I call her Angel Iverson. And we're going to talk about her shoes a little bit later in the show. But, she also had a shoe that released, where she's sponsoring the Allen Iverson Reebok solution. And, it's just very interesting to see that her career path has a lot of similarities with him so far. I guess in just that regard, as not being fully embraced by the culture, or rather the society, but being completely embraced by the culture. Yeah, Angel Reese is going to be an amazing person for the Chicago Sky, and Teresa Weatherspoon, Coach Weatherspoon already speaks about it. Her teammates do, like I mentioned with Camila and Dana Evans. So it's going to be a really great turnaround in Chicago, to say the least. And I'm excited. That's another game I'll be at. I'm gonna make sure I go to that game for her. Caitlin Clark her first one. I gotta make sure I go. Randy, you coming? Tasha, y'all coming? That's June 1st. That's June 1st. Let me see. I gotta work. June 1st. I believe that's on June 1st. So yeah.
And moving on to our next topic, this one really broke a lot of hearts, and it definitely broke mine. We're moving on to Brittney Griner as she opens up about her daunting ordeal in a Russian prison and her determined to come back to the WNBA. And so, DJ, what does Brittney Griner return mean for her and for the Phoenix Mercury?
Well, just to highlight her events in Russia, I think that was very tragic in the sense of, obviously, everything that transpired. It's unfortunate. Randy, I'm actually gonna let you just kind of kick it off just to start a little bit. I'm gonna come right back.
I think it's just a good defensive presence, and thinking with the potential that almost everything you find, I would say have some sort of value for, some liking to your whole life basically being like stripped out from under you, and to regain that back, I'm thinking she's just gonna have like a love, a thankfulness just of being there, and just hopefully bring back a joy for the game, and hopefully we can see that in her style of play and her aggressiveness, because nothing better than a second chance opportunity, especially when going through an unfortunate situation like she did.
And speaking of, here she is with Robin Roberts, getting ready for her interview tonight. I'm getting ready to lock in on that. May 1st, she's getting ready to go. She talks about Russia. She talks about, getting ready to off herself. How the knife was there. I think, the Russian prison, she didn't have a bed that could fit her. She's obviously 6'8". She can dunk. Only female, one of the only females in the league that can dunk. It's been a rough.
Bloodstained sheets.
It's been a rough time. Yeah,
bloodstained sheets.
The bloodstained sheets. Yes, the bloodstained sheets. So she was forced, and there goes that knife that I was speaking about. But yeah, she was forced in isolation, and it's just rather unfortunate, more so than anything. The Phoenix Mercury, though, they're looking to come back strong, and we're getting ready to speak about Diana Taurasi in our next segment. The Phoenix Mercury, they're coming back strong, and for the simple fact that they have Taurasi, they have these vets that are in place. But it's like I told you, it's a new era with this new blood. It's a new era with this new blood.
Yeah, it's like putting water in a warm, or ice cubes in a warm glass, essentially.
Veteran Diana Taurasi stirs the pot with controversial comments about rookie sensation Caitlin Clark. So we're going to start with you, DJ. Is Taurasi's challenge a boost or a burden for Caitlin Clark?
Diana Taurasi is Thanksgiving. I mean, I'm not going to say Thanksgiving dinner, but let's just say on June 30th, something tells me that Caitlin Clark is going to come extra motivated. Not in the sense of, hey, I'm going to fry this person, but in the sense of, hey, I got to show myself up to this person, because this person, the all-time leading scorer in the WNBA, arguably the greatest player in female basketball. I have Maya Moore, per se, as my GOAT. I'll put Maya Moore for everything she's done on and off the court in the span of time and through college. I will pick Maya. But I will say this, Diana Taurasi's on my Mount Rushmore. She's on my Mount Rushmore for sure. She might be 2 or 3 on my Mount Rushmore, but she's on that Mount Rushmore. But other than that, what I will say is Caitlin Clark, I feel like will be motivated. Now, I know Taurasi will show up. That's the if there's one thing to worry about, Randy, since you hate Caitlin Clark so much, is the defense, right? The defense, right? But the one thing that I do know is that Taurasi is going to aggressively come at her each time and each time. Nevertheless, Caitlin gonna have to do the same thing, and she's 42. The other one's not 42. If you know what I'm saying, she coming at her. She fresh out of college, fresh legs. She coming. She coming. She is not gonna stop coming. You know it. Mid range, she gonna be shooting them threes. So she better guard up. You better guard up the whole time. You better guard up the whole time. You will get cooked if you don't guard up. You will get cooked, and you know that. You talking about mid range. If you don't guard up,
Okay, Randy, what are your thoughts? Okay,
it's
Randy,
called
what
the
are your
coming
thoughts?
to the league moment for a reason. It's not called rookie balling out. No, it's a point of realization where look, the thing is, Caitlin Clark has been playing with people, some at her level, others not necessarily. This is the league. Anybody could play. Everybody could play. That's exactly why they're there. This is the creme de la creme. So, of course, I'm excited. It's gonna tell us what type of player Caitlin Clark is going to be, depending how she shows up and plays. And I'm just anticipating that moment because we don't know. This is all speculation. And if she shows up and, you know, she could take a punch and punch back, then I feel like she's going to have a great time in the league, you know. But if she gets beat up, they chew her out, spit her out to the side, and, you know, she has no reaction, no fire, that's, again, it's something that we should be mindful of. This could be a possibility.
Are you saying
I'm
that
not saying that.
Taurasi is gonna fry Clark? Is that what you
I
saying?
want to see how she reacts if she comes and
ultimately?
gets
Let's
smacked in the
no,
mouth,
what
right? Like,
I'm sorry, say it again. She gonna
okay,
get smacked.
let me make it clear.
You gotta make
the
this
same
clear.
way when LeBron came into the league, a lot was expected of him. The same way when Zion came into the league and a lot was expected. The same way Wemby's in the league, a lot's expected of him. This is her first game is going to tell us what type of player she is. Her first few games are going to let us know what type of player she's going to develop into. Because does she have that fire within her to be down 15 and to play back, or be down 20 until you never know. These are we've seen
But you've seen
college
this
is not
already. Have we not
sports.
seen this in her college career?
We could have taken that.
Oh, better question. What you? I got a better question. What's this? What do you got Taurasi doing? What you got Clark doing? What I'll save that until after the preseason. I'm not going to jump the gun. Let's not jump the gun. But we got all season.
What's
They play on Friday. I think we got all season. We don't huh?
I think
20 something, like 20 something.
I think Caitlin is probably gonna come out and hit 18, and it's gonna be majority off of jumpers.
18. Nah, she's not hitting no teens none of this year. She gonna be she gonna be shooting. I mean, I hope not. I'll say this. That's not a bad. That's 18 to 24 is not. That's not a bad game. That's not a bad game.
Look, a lot of people are getting support from Caitlin. And of course, I feel like women who are already in the league are feeling some type of way, because you're shining somebody who hasn't. Granted, it's the way the association works. You're shining on the light is always down the hallway. It's never down at what's in front of you. So they're always looking at the next big thing, the next big thing, the next big thing. But when you think about it, who in the NBA right now was the next big thing that actually stood the test of time? Victor
Wembanyama,
LeBron, Luka,
Zion,
Luka, Kyrie,
Kobe. If we doing
Anthony Edwards,
we're doing females, like, Candace, Maya,
you can't say Angel. You can't say Angel.
Kotri. Who else?
You can't say Angel because we have
who?
Oh, okay.
Slam dunk, Brittney Griner. Griner goes flying in. Brittney Griner throws it down.
So big, so long, so athletic.
She can be the most dominant player to play basketball. On February 17th, WNBA star Brittney Griner landed outside of Moscow, heading to rejoin the Russian club team she'd played for since 2014.
So, February 17th, I woke up, I want to say around like 5 a.m. I had about 50 messages like, babe, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, hello, 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 wake up. And I'm like, what is going on? And she's just like, they have me in this like room.
Russian officials had arrested her.
Behind my ass, it's late. But she got something. Just tells me she's not gonna.
I hope she doesn't. But again, it's a power thing. Like, I would never. This guy's better than me. That's not the type of player I am. And if you're in a professional league, I don't expect you to be that type of player. So they could have asked anybody outside of Diana Taurasi, and I think they would have gotten the same answer. Because doing that is you're slighting yourself. In the same way Zion essentially rejuvenated the league, because it was a lot of busts coming in before Zion, and then he hyped up. It was a very hyped up situation when he got into the league. But look at him now; he's about to get swept out of the first round. So it like I said, it's very dependent on what type of player you are, because Zion has all the capabilities he needs to be a dominant player. We've seen it in college, but then again, you get to the league and it's a different game. He's done it here, he's done it there, but then he runs through injuries. Then you see his dieting issues. That's a huge topic for him. So the same way,
and although, and go ahead, finish.
I'm saying the same way the media always portrays you. 6 months ago, all we heard was.
On February 17th,
No, that's why it's all speculation.
And if we can just wrap that up, and now one thing I want to say about that is, if Diana, her comments are her comments, and everybody is free to say their opinion, but she's just stirring up the pot, and that gives, for me, that's gonna fuel Caitlin to come out blazing. Although this is the limelight for her, she's stepping into the WNBA, which is another level professionally. I think she's gonna handle it well, and then when they meet face to face, it's gonna be on, and again, it's gonna be excitement, and it's gonna be something to watch. Everybody's gonna tune in because Diana's she's running her mouth, but Caitlin's gonna go ahead and back that up. I believe that. And so making history, both are making history. Diana's making history. Caitlin is the future of the WNBA. And we're gonna go into this next segment, which is the historic for the Las Vegas Aces. They set their sights on the historic third consecutive championship, which is fantastic. And so, DJ, I'm going to start this question with you. Are the Aces poised to make the WNBA history with a three-peat?
They absolutely are about to three-peat. If you have not seen this team play, go get your tickets. Go to Las Vegas. Go get your tickets now. Next time you're in Vegas, go to Vegas, get your tickets. A'ja Wilson is a must-watch player to see in the game. She is or was one of the faces of the league. Here they are at training camp. Chelsea Gray is another great player that they have, as well as Jackie Young, Kelsey Plum. I mean, you name it, they have it. They have guards. They have high-scoring bigs. Like I said, with the marketing, you're in Vegas. Who doesn't love Vegas, right? I mean, I can't say enough about the Aces. They smacked the league. This is their second year winning the championship. They're getting ready to win a third one. I don't know if you've seen it. They picked up Daisha Fair from college, who's one of the all-time leading scorers. I believe she played at Buffalo. I mean, she is a monster. I mean, she is a scoring guard. And they picked up on this team. They have three of the top scoring guards the top 15 scorers of NCAA history are on their team: Kelsey Plum, Alicia Clark, and Daisha Fair. And the fact that they have that, in addition to having an all-star in Jackie Young, in addition to having Chelsea Gray, in addition to having A'ja Wilson, who I didn't just mention, I mean, and then you have Kate Martin from Iowa, who just got picked up from the draft. I mean, this team is stacked, and they're gonna win again. Candace Parker just retired. I mean, I wish Candace would have stayed another year, which shocked everybody, which we're also gonna talk about later. I wish she would have stayed another year, but that's those are my takes on that. I feel like, look, I mean, they're gonna be dancing to another championship pretty soon.
In my eyes, they're like a Swiss Army knife, man. Just when you think like, oh, this has it all, it's like, hold on, let me show you let me show you something else, my boy. Here you go. That's the type of firepower that they're walking around with, and it's not just offensively, man. They have some defenders in there that they could really just work both ends of the court, and if they can have a healthy year, it's going to be really hard to get past them. And Jabari alluded it to it best. You're in Vegas, a place that's visited a lot, a high attraction area,
Absolutely.
a high energy place. Like it's a perfect storm for them. And they got a front office bringing in the pieces, the coaches working. Like, yeah, the league's in trouble, man. The league's in trouble. That's why everybody else is pairing up right now. The boys getting ready. It's about to be get them off the mantle time.
Yeah, I mean, you think? Wait, hold on. Who's gonna take them off the
No,
mantle?
that's what they're trying to do. That's what the league's got to prepare for. Like,
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. The New York Liberty, they're bitter, and we're gonna talk about them pretty soon as well. But they're bitter. They want blood. They want that ring. They want to
I mean,
dethrone. Connecticut, Connecticut keeps getting at the door. They keep getting at the
that's what
door.
happens when
When you take the Miami Soul,
that's
I'm
what
just
happens
playing.
when you got to park in the back.
I'm just playing.
Okay, welcome back, guys. We're here. I'm Tasha. We're here with Randy and DJ, and we're gonna move on to the New York Liberty as they are blending high hopes with high stakes as they strive for their first championship. So, question number one: can the Liberty's strategy cook up their first WNBA title? So, who wants to go first?
I think they can, but Vegas, man. Vegas. What's up, Q? Vegas is a tall hill to climb, but I mean, you get everybody on the same page. Get everybody following the same mantra under the same beliefs, and you'll be surprised. Like, look at the Heat. Every year, it's something. I just I look, if they're all on the same page and they're all willing to fight the same fight. I think every team has a chance. But again, man, you got a mountain of a team to play against, and it's not just one team; it's multiple teams that are getting better, and preparing. They're getting ready for that transition, man. It's a transition of power about to happen in the W, and it looks like everybody's on the same page of preparing for that next step. So
Question, DJ: do they have the strategy to cook up their first WNBA title?
yeah,
Can they?
I think I think so with Sabrina Nescu, and then the fact that you have them. I'm sorry, rather. Whoa, you have Sabrina Nescu, you have Breonna Stewart, they got Marquisha Davis off the bench. There's a Rook. I mean, they have a squad. New York again. They lost last season in a heartbreaking fashion, but literally anything is possible when you have a top three scorer in the game. I mean, Stewie is arguably one of the best scorers in the game. She lost the league leader to Jewel Lloyd. Last season was a scoring champ, but she's an automatic bucket. Like she's one of the. So if you think about LeBron, Kevin Durant in their prime, she is that. So meaning if you have one of these players, Asia, her, you're guaranteed to compete for champions. I'm also throwing Caitlyn in that realm, Randy, as much as you hate her. So if you have one of these players, you're always gonna enter those types of conversations, which is why Dallas, even though they weren't able to get to the championship, they competed well. And Connecticut, same thing. But yeah, New York, it's gonna look like a repeat. I'm not sure in the East who can compete with them yet. Again, they have two of the best, and then they have Sabrina. So if Stewie has a bad night, they got somebody who could bomb from 30 on any given night, and she could score 30 or 40 points. So triple doubles, like you name it, like they have it. They have it. They got a dynamic big and a dynamic guard.
Okay, Q, you want to say your thoughts on?
The Liberty good. They good. They really are. However, y'all just talked about them. They are not beating the Aces. They got Brianna Stewart and they got Sabrina Ionescu, but it's not enough. It's really not. Las Vegas Aces are too solid from top to bottom at really all positions. If you think about it, last year when they repeated, they didn't even need Candace Parker. I believe they still win without her. She didn't even play, but and they still won, and it's just too much. Jackie Young, Jewel Lloyd, Kelsey, it's just too much, man. They need another player. They need another player, in my opinion.
I don't know if you
They cute
noticed,
though,
but
but
GJ likes to sprinkle Caitlin Clark like it's parsley everywhere, man. The sprinkling everywhere. I'm like, Caitlin Clark the best. Caitlin Clark the best. Oh, dude, chill out.
hey man, hey Randy, I'm right along with you. Hey, I agree with you, Randy. It's the difference between playing college and playing professional, especially in the WNBA. WNBA is strict. Like, there's only so many teams and so many roster spots. It's not like the NBA where if you fail on one team, you can get picked up and have a second coming on another
Better
team or
learn
a third team. You
Chinese.
know, it's real strict
That's what
around
it
there.
is.
Get them need.
So, nah,
That's tough. Nah, but I mean, yeah,
learn
agreed. I
Chinese
think
is
it's all about the
crazy.
change, and that's funny that you brought that up. Before we get into our next segment, I think that they got to be less strict, especially with the way that she is about to play. I don't want her coach to tell her to not shoot 23s a game. I don't want her coach to tell her don't do a full court outlet pass. I want her coach to tell her to just be herself and let her play the game the way she wants to play it, and to just let evolution happen. I mean, they didn't want Steph to play a certain way in the beginning, and that's why 10 years later, here we are. I mean, his game is about to change. It's only been 25, 26 years, and it's been
I,
around.
Yeah,
I think if the coach doesn't, the coach is going
yeah.
to be out of there. I think even the league is going to encourage the coach or push the coach to tell her to play her game because that's what's going to sell tickets. See, the WNBA, yeah, they have a good product as far as basketball wise, but they want that national attention. They want to attract more fans, which Caitlyn can do it for them, and essentially be like their Magic Johnson or their Larry Bird, which saves the league as far as viewership. You
End
know,
of the day, it's a business.
yeah, yeah, and hopefully she marks up the business because I like watching WNBA, and it's really hard sometimes to find a streaming service or a platform that's going to broadcast the game, um, because for some reason they don't get enough viewership and stuff like that.
We're going to move on to the next segment in which these sneakers are not for free. The WNBA players are not just making plays, they're making a big fashion statement with their sneakers. How are the WNBA sneakers changing the game on and off the court? Q, I'm going to start with you.
I think having women with signature shoes is groundbreaking. I feel like they should have been doing this with any of their past players in the last couple years because it women's basketball, as far as high school, elementary, even middle school, is growing. And so by giving a one of their players a signature shoe, it also gives the players that are in high school, middle school, and elementary school a role model or somebody that they can aspire to be. Um, for the longest time they've been playing in shoes like Kyrie's and all types of Jordans, but not really having a woman who has their signature shoe. And with the signature shoe brings attention to the league because all right, my kids want this shoe. Who is this person that they want me to spend my good earning money as an adult? Sort of like how Jordan did with his Nike deal. Now you got a whole bunch of people watching because this person's selling, and I really like that shoe design um, as a prototype or a first launch.
My thoughts are the fact that I love the fact that everybody has an opportunity now to have a shoe. For the simple fact that, and here goes my little parsley, but it's true. High tide raised all ships, and the fact that this young lady was able to amass in this era a $28 million shoe contract, which is the largest contract that a female has ever signed, and then it's crazy. That's crazy that in 2024 that we can say that, and that. So this shoe right here is the Jewel Lloyd. That's
Beautiful
Jewel
shoe.
Lloyd's. This is Sabrina Ionescu, and that's Angel Reese's. Iverson Reebok Mid Solution. So the GT Hustle, and let's see if I can put a picture of the GT Hustle up. So let's just these are the GTs. These are Jewel Lloyd's right here, as you can kind of see. They have like her. She's always been with Nike for about a few years since she left Notre Dame. But she has a kind of yeah. I think they flame. I think they flame. I think I will wear
Hey,
them. I will wear
I'm
them.
gonna tell you one thing right now. Like Soldier Boy say it, run him his check, bro. That's a
Yeah.
Yum design on some Nikes. Give him his check, man.
Yeah, I mean,
No,
I
those are
think they
hard as
flame.
shit. Those are hard. I ain't even know.
I feel like if you hoop and you see somebody wearing them, like
Bro,
it's no
bro.
brainer. You gotta.
As a hooper, those are very eye-catching shoes.
That's what I'm saying. And then like I like the this. So what I'm saying is this: if they give women more opportunities to design shoes, and Jewel Lloyd is a household name. She showed in a lot of different places. You know, she's in the State Farm commercials, who a WNBA is a sponsor of, or rather the opposite. There is a market, and it's interesting at the fact that we're getting ready to see more women. She's not going to be the
No,
last one. You know, Caitlin Clark isn't going to be the last one with the $28 shoe deal. I'm expecting Juju. I expect Juju to break that record. If Nike don't already scoop her up to some NIL deal, I would expect Juju to break that record. I would expect the Judea Watkins shoe to sell. I would expect that to sell. She is a certified hooper, and she's the best player in college basketball, and she's been that for last year.
the last
So
year,
I would actually.
it's not.
You heard me. You heard what I said. I said last year. I ain't gonna say it. Last year, she was the best player in college basketball. Obviously, Caitlin Clark, 29 and 12 assists and points. But if we're talking about pound for pound, just straight skill, that's not even a question. With her handle ability, and she's 6'2", 210 almost, and she can defend, pass, rebound, shoot. It's not even a
Wow.
question. She's.
You said
She's the
everything
next
Caitlin
one.
Clark ain't got.
That's crazy.
She could rebound. What are you saying? She had a triple double again. Like, what do you? No, you gonna y'all go y'all. You almost made me, boy. You almost made me.
Start moving
Let me
furniture
not.
in there.
But guess who's? I know this person is going to be knocking on their agent's door, talking about let's get a shoe deal or get some money in, and that's Candace Parker, as she bids farewell to the WNBA, leaving behind the beautiful legacy of a championship. That she changed the game tremendously. So my question to you guys is: what legacy does Miss Candace Parker what does she leave behind in the WNBA?
That's the real CP3, if you ask me. Nah, Candace Parker. I think she was the bridge from the first wave of the WNBA players to this wave of WNBA players we have now. Um, with her even leaving LA Sparks to join a young Chicago team and to join um, a legacy aspiring Las Vegas Aces. She's laid the groundwork for what it means to be a superstar, not on and off the court, because we see her all the time on TNT. To being her like that natural veteran presence and setting an example of what it shows to be a WNBA basketball player in different generations, and how you can move throughout playing in the 2000s, 2010s, and the 2020s. Perfect example. Almost like a LeBron. You never see her getting in trouble or anything off the court. Just a role model for a lot of people.
Man, as we see these highlights, she deserves all the flowers she gets, man. Like, even though we do see her on TNT with the Kenny Smith knees now, she deserves all the flowers that we can give her, man. Because when I tell you, like, even growing up and watching her play was just like, you knew she could hoop just by the few clips. She moves different. She's like a hybrid player, as Q said, who made that bridge for that transition. Like, she brought a different style of play, just herself all at the same time, and it's a very classy woman. So, like, thank you. Thank you. That's all I got to tell her. Thank you, man.
Thank you for everything that she's done for the game. And some of the things that I can just say that I remember is just the fact that she can dunk. She is one of the women that has played in the WNBA that can dunk, and I am so thankful that God blessed us with this specimen of an athlete. So when I've mentioned Mount Rushmore, you have I was gonna say Mount Maya. You have Maya. You have Diana. I'm putting swoops on this
Yep.
list. I got to throw the OGs.
Yep.
Cheryl Miller. I hold Cheryl Miller. I hold Cheryl Miller as the godfather of them all. So I'm not even gonna put her in Mount Rushmore. She is like the originator, the progenitor. She is the
She's
She's like the Statue of Liberty.
She is the
She's
Eve
her
of
own
this.
monument.
She is the Eve of
who's the guy that they bring out every game? You got to see him. Who's it?
Who
the league, man? Didn't he just break his hip? No.
Chris Finch?
Oh, he's black. I can't. Why is the name eluding me, bro? Or is the same?
Oh, can't think of it.
It's not.
He broke his
It's not. What's his name from the Celtics? God.
Oh, Porzingis.
Bill Russell, yeah.
Oh, you talking about Bill Russell? That's crazy.
Well,
My boy.
But no, so
oh shit.
to finish though, she's one of the few women that can dunk, and I will absolutely put Candace Parker on my Mount Rushmore for the simple fact that she was able to do everything as a player. She was dynamic. Q touched upon this. Randy also brought this upon us as well. She could shoot, pass, dribble. Same things that Randy says Caitlin Clark can't do apparently. But she was able to do literally everything. She won MVP. She won Rookie of the Year she won Rookie of the Year and MVP in her first year, which is literally unheard of. It is countless amounts of things that you can go on about her. Even in college, she was able to win a Final Four. She was able to win a national championship for Pat Summitt. She's done everything that you can think of in her basketball career. And I really do wish she would have stayed, which I feel like a lot of people were selfish of saying as well. But yeah, that's just for the simple fact she would have just won another championship. So yeah, Candace Parker, thank you. We appreciate everything that you've done for the game and for helping to get to here.
For sure. Candace, you get your flowers, my darling, as you leave a beautiful legacy for all the women of future basketball to take, just to walk in your footsteps. And so we're going to dive into our last topic of the day, which is Sue Bird transitions from the court to the boardroom, taking on new role in the Seattle Storm's ownership. So, Randy, I'm going to start with you. How will Sue Bird's ownership role impact the Seattle Storms and the WNBA?
You might get a different. It's like if LeBron were to get a front office job. Like it's going to be interesting because a lot of these I'm not going to say a lot of these front office, but some of them aren't necessarily weren't players or stars, let alone. So it's going to be interesting to see is how her outlook and her vision. I just want to see how it comes into fruition. We don't know, so I don't want to assume. I rather witness.
So are you saying that she may not have the qualifications?
Say what you chest. What you trying to say?
When you look at the past, some of the players who doubled down. If you look at Jordan, you look at Magic. Like some of those guys necessarily didn't make the best decisions, front office decisions. But we're gonna see now. Like she might have a different look on it. She might take the experience of these gentlemen and remix it and realize hey, look, follow the numbers and not your heart. Like sometimes the eye test works with certain players. Other players you got to give them some time to marinate in the league to really see how they develop. But it takes a special person to see that, to really pull that apart.
Alrighty, DJ.
I think she's gonna do well in a role, Randy. I think she's gonna do well in a role. Why? I don't bet against the UConn point guard. It's that simple. Not on the court or off the court. she shares something similar with another UConn point guard who came right after her. Also played with Maya Moore, Renee Montgomery, also a owner, the Atlanta Dream. I love it. I love the fact that former players are getting back into their former teams. The WNBA needs more popularity. It needs more revenue. It needs more people spending money in marketing, advertisement, research, data, scouting, and developing the game. So if we have a former player who's interested in doing those things, do it. Now, I don't need her making front office decisions. Not saying that I don't believe in her choices, but if that's what not her role is, then that's okay. But if her role is that, then that's fine too. But yeah, I absolutely love it. I think she's going to do amazing. And I can't wait to see the Storm. Just speaking of the Storm this year, they have NECA, they have Skylar Diggins Smith, they got Nika Mule coming off the bench to back them up. They got the scoring champion last year, Jewel Lloyd, right? I mean, they're stacked, so they're coming to make some noise this year if they didn't last, you know. So this is an organization that's changing the tide. And just if I could add one more thing, having these former players get back is only going to help the league expand. And as we see, Golden State is getting a WNBA team next year. And then the commissioner also mentioned that they want to expand in Miami again, bring back the team in Houston again, and bring back other several markets. So I think it's great. I would love to get a piece of the team too.
You guys making it to the second round just to choke again?
Hey, Boston
was a
just lucky that Jimmy is hurt.
Porzingis not good. They
ready
don't
for
know. They don't
Cancun
know.
in the morning.
They
I
always
feel
do this
that.
to themselves every
No,
single playoff. They always do it every playoffs. Just wait. Just wait.
man.
Obviously,
Look,
We got
look,
tomorrow. We got
look,
there
tomorrow.
ain't no
man.
pressure.
I
Anyway,
told.
There ain't
DJ,
no.
you want to go
I'm
ahead
not
and
worried.
wrap
We
this
gonna
up?
see.
Look,
Y'all
Before
pressure
we
look, I don't
go.
want
dead.
to
We're
hear
gonna
nothing
win.
about Jimmy
Like
getting hurt because when it was
I'm
Tatum
not
last
worried.
year,
I'm not worried.
when was a small violin playing, I don't want to hear none of that. Um,
Y'all have a
yeah,
good night.
Chin up.
Let me go watch
not
my
gonna lie, y'all got to.
Hebrews.
But yeah, man.
Yeah, I say the same thing with Boston because y'all ain't
On with the
going
shit.
nowhere.
Thank you guys again so much for tuning in. I am Tasha. We got DJ, Randy, and Q up in the building. We just thank you guys so much. Catch y'all again next time on She Shoots, She Scores.